What's up, everybody? Dan Tortora here with you of Comic Book Trails, and I am more than happy to say that today's episode of Comic Book Trails brought us all the way to Rochester, New York, and I'm a big fan of this place, Comics Etc. Comics ETC. And very true. They have plenty of comics, and they also have plenty of other stuff, including sports cards, which I'm a big fan of. I collected sports cards and comic books growing up, and I still continue to do that today as, throughout the years. So I'm very excited about that. Comics Etc. 1115 East Main Street in Door 8 in Rochester, New York. So actually the building that they're in, 1115 East Main Street, when you get there, you'll actually see it. And if you're looking at the building head on, it's all the way to the right. It's Door 8, and you'll see that it says Comics Etc. above it. So make sure that you head out there in Rochester to 1115 East Main Street, Door 8 in Rochester, New York. I am such a big fan of this place. I got to meet the owner, got to meet his son, who will be the owner someday. Also got to meet Jamie. Shout out to the crew, everybody there. Big time shout out to all of you, and thank you for welcoming me into your store. If you don't know about Comic Book Trails, that's okay. I'm happy to tell you what we're all about. I travel all over the country, and at any point where I make a stop, I will look at a town or a city, and I'll go onto my GPS and I'll look up comics in the area or collectibles in the area. It'll give me a list of stores, and then I'll look up the local and small businesses. I'll look up your social media, I'll look up your website, try and get pictures, information about you. And so definitely make sure that you're updating things on your website, that you have a website, that you have social media, that you have some way for me to get some information about your place, because I could be coming to your city or town next, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to be missed, and I don't want to miss you. So, Comic Book Trails, going all over the country, trying to find these local and small businesses that are just awesome, kicking butt, trying to meet the owners and meet the staff and get to know a little bit about your story and how long you've been there, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, and why you love what you do, why you do what you do, and also to see what type of cool stuff that you have. And, if I have a good experience inside of the place, then I'm more than happy to try and find something cool to support your business, buy that, and showcase it in today's video. Well, you know that I must have liked Comics Etc. a lot because I bought a lot of stuff. So those of you that watched the previous video, sometimes I forget the comics I buy, but that's okay because I have 2 copies and this one's in really good condition. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but Absolute Carnage, you know that I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, be it Peter Parker, into Miles Morales, Venom, Carnage, Toxin, all of the symbiotes. I say symbiote, you say symbiote. It's fine with me. Don't hate me for it. I just grew up and it was symbiote. So, this is the Absolute Carnage. I already had this one, but I forgot that I had it. And I'm more than okay with giving back to Comics Etc. in Rochester because they're so awesome. So I got this one there, so I'll showcase that one first. I have a little bit to go through here, but I bought a few things. Absolute Carnage, like I said, I love the tie-ins and the spin-offs. I got the Miles Morales one. You know that I have the Absolute Carnage Miles Morales. I believe I already showed you. Yes, I did. I showed you this one. So this is this is the original cover. I have the variant with Miles on it in a different way. This is the original cover with Miles. You can see Miles there getting attacked by the Codexes and starting to code him and essentially become him. So I thought this is a really cool cover. This very easily could have been a variant cover. It's what it looks like. But so I have 2 copies of this, and I have the variant cover, and now I have the original of the Miles Morales tie-in with Absolute Carnage. I also went and got. I'm a big fan of the Lethal Protector, which is the Venom side of it. I have the Lethal Protector comics, and this one has Lethal Protectors, and it actually shows Iron Fist and Cloak and Dagger. I'm a big fan of Cloak and Dagger, and obviously I share the same first name as Danny Rand, who is Iron Fist. So we'll take a look at Lethal Protectors. I have a number 2 here. This one's kind of cool. It says, while investigating disinterred graves in Doverton, Colorado, a town once taken over by the symbiotic serial killer named Carnage. John Jameson became infected by Carnage. John's one-time partner, Misty Knight, was held captive by Carnage and his crew. Their intent? Feed Misty to the resurrected Demogoblin, who is in the body of Carnage's lover, Shriek. And so we got that here. Misty may have used her bionic arm to escape, but she's still trapped in the sewers and is with a horde of Carnage doppelgangers. So you could see the Demogoblin here. And I'm a big fan of all the goblins. Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, Demogoblin. I think it's really cool. You could actually get a good look at everybody in this picture, in this piece. So, and you know that this comic book had been out a little bit here because we saw the soundtrack for Avengers Endgame. Tony, my goatee, tear. So, sadness. But very, very cool here. And another very well put together comic. Just a very beautiful, beautiful artwork in here. And yeah, you could see the Demogoblin, and you could see all the really cool artwork there. So Lethal Protectors, that was number 2. This is number 3. That was the original cover. This is a variant cover. I can't help myself. I love Cloak and Dagger. I go and buy up as much Cloak and Dagger as I possibly can. I'm a fan of the TV show. I hope that they bring it back. And so there's a lot of cool stuff here. A lot of really cool stuff here. So you can actually see some really awesome pictures here. I just love the cover. I love that it's Absolute Carnage. I love the Cloak and Daggers involved. They made their first appearance in Spider-Man, so that's really cool. And I'm a big fan of all of this stuff. And you can actually see a bunch of different characters here that made it into this comic. And Iron Fist obviously continues to be in this one, and just really, really cool stuff here. So, Morbius is in this as well. Makes me want to read it right now. Lethal Protectors, and that one having Cloak and Dagger. So I showed you that I have Absolute Carnage in that, and that I bought 2 of these because I got it at another place on my comic book trail stop. But you can see here that I continued the official Absolute Carnage. So, you know, obviously comic book when the comic books come out, they say, all right, we're scratching everything from before, we killed everybody off, or we're starting a new story, or whatever it may be. And then they say there's going to be one timeline, right? There's going to be one run. And then they have, and this is like the run, and then they end up having 5 million tie-ins. And there's always tie-ins, folks. It's hard to keep up. And Absolute Carnage, the thing with it is I want every single one. Because I love the artwork. Like I said, I love the symbiotes. I love, the Carnage and Venom and Toxin and Spider-Man. Love all that stuff. Planet of the Symbiotes, I had that growing up. It was one of my favorite comic collections that I had. And so, in Toxin, I got Toxin, the original, when nobody knew who he was, and I don't even think they thought they could sell it. And so they kind of just were like, yeah, if you want it, you can take it, because it's not going to be anything big. And now Toxin's obviously been around for a while here. But this is the true run of Absolute Carnage. This is the main story. And then obviously I have a bunch of the tie-ins. So I was able to get... Oh, this is really cool. So yeah, this artwork, again, fantastic. Miles is in this one. You can see Miles falling. So, Absolute Carnage in this, number 3. Absolute Carnage, number 4 as well. And you can see the crazy artwork that was to come here. Just really, really awesome stuff here with Carnage. And yeah, I mean, the pictures, again, the pictures are really incredible. So this is Absolute Carnage number 4 that I also got at Comics Etc. This is Absolute Carnage number 5. This is the variant cover. I had to get it. You got Venom here, and then you got Captain America rising up, and everybody's trying to get out of Carnage. You see Spider-Man and everybody kind of lifting their arms up, trying to get out. and Venom being on the other side of things here. This is also really cool here, that in the middle of the comic you just see the Absolute Carnage logo. So I picked that up too, and then I was able to get the Symbiote of Vengeance #1, and you can see the Codex, little Carnage looking creature here. You can see the Codex, and you can obviously see Ghost Rider. And so you open this up and take a look at it, and you can see the really awesome symbiotic Ghost Rider with the symbiote looking face here on the front of the motorcycle, which I think that's one of the coolest pictures here. I think the cover's awesome too. So pick that up. And then I also got, when I was a kid, my mom used to pick me up any Spider-Man comics that she could find, including Spider-Man 2099. And so I saw this, I didn't even know about it, so I got obviously, like I said, I like to get #1s. So I got the 2099 Venom. So, I have the 2099 Spider-Man. I think I have a Punisher one. I might have Ghost Rider. But Venom 2099 I'd never seen before. So I picked this one up. Really, really cool story. And it obviously has a female sporting the symbiote. And so Venom 2099, a really awesome story. And you can see Alchemax with the symbiote there. So I thought that was a cool one to get. And then we jump into some of these other ones here, and that's being the symbiote Spider-Man and Venom. You could see that they both have a similar red cover with the black tie-in here to the King in Black. And I have something of that series that I'll show you here in a second. You can see Kang the Conqueror, who's supposed to be featured in upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe films in connection with the Fantastic Four and Ant-Man and whatnot. Really cool here, as we see the symbiote Spider-Man fighting him. And that is the name, that is the title of this comic, which is the symbiote Spider-Man, the Sword and the Spirit. Some really cool stuff in here. Again, this reminds me of some artwork I had as a kid. So, good stuff. King in Black tie-in for this one as well. This is the King in Black tie-in for Venom's comic, and you can see that really cool alien looking Venom, that alien symbiote looking like the alien from the movie Alien. And some cool stuff here as we get looking at different pieces here. And Agent Flash Venom Thompson shows up at the end, which is really awesome here too. And that leads me to the main portion of all this. You got the King in Black tie-ins. Well, I have the King in Black itself. And this is a current run that's going on with comics, and very excited about this. King in Black #1 and King in Black #2, the variant edition. So this is the official #1, and this is not a second print. This is the first print of everything, which I'm very excited about. So here you go, King in Black. This is the first cover. This is the first King in Black comic. And again, something that could be worth something someday, a very monumental looking cover with characters like Iron Man and Captain America, Cyclops, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Really, really cool stuff here. As you see, this storyline, which has been going on for over a year now in the comics, and you see the King in Black looking like Venom, but having that red there on the chest. This is the second one of King in Black's run. This is a variant cover. I was trying to pick out which one I wanted, and this is the one that won the day. Really, really beautiful, really cool stuff. Really, again, just incredible artwork. The pages, everything about this comic feels great. I need to pick this up because I'm a huge fan of Gwen Stacy. I'm a fan of Gwen Stacy and Spider-Gwen and Venom. And so you see this one, Gwenom versus Carnage. I definitely have to pick this up. So I'm looking at that right now going, oh man, I got to get it. So yeah, but great stuff. Just absolutely great stuff here. you see Cyclops and everybody being manipulated, which is cool. So the King in Black series, I love Venom. I didn't think that they could do anything like above Venom, and then they come out with King in Black, which is great. And like I said, the tie-ins. So you got the Absolute Carnage run and the Absolute Carnage tie-ins. You have the King in Black run and the King in Black tie-ins. And I'm just trying to get as many as I could. Basically, these are all over the store. So I went to the first part of the store, and I didn't see stuff right away. And I thought maybe I saw one or two things. Then I went around. I saw stuff on the table. Then I saw stuff on this kind of, like one of the small kind of, just kind of setups there that they had. And I saw something on the display there. Then I went around the corner, saw some more stuff. Then Jamie helped me out. I found some more stuff. And I said, the more I walk around your store, the more I'm buying, as you can see. And the last one that I got, this was supposed to come out in connection with the movie, but you know that Marvel had to move, with the pandemic, all of their stuff around. So this is a variant cover. They had a bunch of different versions of this, but this is the comic of the Eternals. And the Eternals comic, this new comic for the Eternals, was supposed to come out in conjunction with the movie, but with the movie getting pushed back, they still released this stuff here. This is one of the variant covers of the first of the Eternals here. So this is one of their variant ones. I thought this was really cool. I actually haven't even touched this. I haven't even opened it and touched the comic itself. But the Eternals comic, because I'm excited about the movie, wanted to learn a little bit more. Obviously Daredevil here, one of my favorites growing up. And one of my favorite TV shows that I think will be back on Disney Plus. You heard it here. Eternals comic that's supposed to come out in conjunction with the movie, and with the movie being held back, they still released it. So a lot of great stuff from Comics Etc. There's Etc. to the comics that they have, but obviously I did comics, and then next time I go I'll have to maybe get the Etc. But something tells me I'll just keep buying stuff, because I told them I like Venom, I told them I like Carnage, I told them I like Spider-Man, and that I'm a fan of the King in Black stuff. And you could see Carnage once again, Miles Morales Carnage, King in Black, King in Black tie-ins for Venom and Symbiote Spider-Man, Venom 2099, Symbiote of Vengeance, Absolute Carnage, and we see the run of Absolute Carnage, and then Lethal Protectors of Absolute Carnage. So everything I bought there outside of the Eternals had a connection to King in Black, Absolute Carnage, and the fact that I have been a fan of the symbiotes forever and a day, and I'll continue to be. And then I had to go and pick up my Eternals, and this was my favorite cover of all the ones they had. They had a bunch of different covers. This was the one that I chose. I just thought it was really cool. Feel like it could be worth something someday, so I'm going to just pack this away and hold on to it. That coming from Comics Etc. 1115 East Main Street, door 8 in Rochester, New York. A fantastic place. They used to be somewhere else for I think a couple decades or so, and then they moved to this new location, 1115 East Main Street, door number 8 in Rochester, New York. Make sure you make your way there, as I did. I'll be going back to Comics Etc. very soon. Awesome staff, fantastic experience, great way to pop off 2021, and I cannot say thank you enough to the incredible experience I had at Comics Etc. So make sure you make your way out there. This has been a new edition of Comic Book Trails. I am Dan Tortora. I could be coming to your place next. In order for that to happen, it's got to go with my travel plans and whatnot too, but let me know who you are, let me know where you are, what's the store, give me your town, give me your city, give me the name of the place. Would love to look it up and check it out. You can get information to us by going to Facebook or Instagram and finding us at Comic Book Trails and hitting like and or follow, and then shooting us a direct message so I could get some information on the place that you would like us to come to. And of course, when I'm in your town or city, I'll put some information out there. I might shoot a picture out of the town and say, hey, Rochester, New York, for example, where should I go? Hey, I'm in Rochester. Somebody tell me where to go for comics and collectibles in Rochester, New York. And if you respond there on social media, I might be going to your store or to your favorite store. So to the owners of these establishments, I love to support local and small businesses. So it's good for you and for the community. If there's a place that you grew up at, you love to go to, you bring your kids to, you just started going to, whether it's a place that's been around for 50 years or it's 20 or it just opened, I'd be more than happy to take a look at the places, so send them our way at Comic Book Trails. You can also email us, comicbooktrails@gmail.com, if you have an idea. So to all of the business owners out there, stay strong and stay positive. We will get through this together. We'll get through anything together. And we support local and we support small business all over the country. And we thank you so much. So Comic Book Trail is going to Comics Etc., Comics ETC in Rochester on 115 East Main Street, door number 8. Comics Etc. You did not disappoint by any stretch of the imagination. The longer I was in your store, the more trouble I got into in the best of ways. Thank you all. And this was my Christmas gift to myself. You know when people give you money for Christmas and they say, go and get yourself something that you want? Well, normally my Christmas money will go toward whatever. I'll forget about it and you know, it'll just be, you know, in the bank. But this time around, I used the Christmas money to go out to Comics Etc. and have some fun there. So a shout out to all of you there at Comics Etc. Thank you so much. I'll talk with you soon. In the meantime, happy trails.